Welcome back. I've decided to do my blue EDH, which nowadays is referred to as Commander. So it was difficult for me to work out the best way to try and describe. So I'll do another video on difference between basically a 60 card standard game of Magic and a 100 card EDH Commander game. I'll do another video on that now, but I'll assume for now that those casual players know basically what the difference is between those two games. They're very, very similar. But just to start off, as you can see, the game evolves around a bigger version, bigger deck, bigger everything. So where you probably wouldn't want to play a great big Stormtide with 8 mana on a normal deck, you can do in this format. So I'll probably do this in two parts. I'll do my commander and my creatures, why I've chose them, why you should probably look at mana curve, and you can see it's quite heavy around the 3 drops, then it thins out and then it gets bigger at the end. I'll try and explain my logic and let me know how you build your decks. Maybe we can bounce some ideas off each other. And then another video I'll go through the spells and why they're there. And obviously you can see it's blue, so it's going to be a lot of bouncy type spells and counters. So 100 cards, 40 with a few, we'll get to them in the second video, but a few spells that allow me to double mana and whatnot. But 40 cards leaving me 60 spells. Now my commander is Arcanus the Omnipotent. Probably said that wrong, but it's 6 mana. Awesome artwork. Really love the card. It's a 3/4. All commanders have to be legendary. This one happens to be a wizard. Now, if this card dies, as you know, it will get sent back to your command zone and it will cost 2 more. So you'll see people playing 3 or 4 drops. I'm going straight in at 6. I need this card to work. Round turn 6, I'm going to be drawing basically 6 more cards. I'm going to keep a counter cards available. Other colours can't do this, but blue has the option of having a load of spells. You can only have 1 of each spell, so it lowers the amount of odds you've got, but there's just so many different varieties of counters and whatnot. I can keep this guy up for quite some time. Now when I do, just tap it, draw 3 cards. So brilliant. Basically it's a treasure cruise built in. I haven't got to delve, I haven't got to destroy my graveyard. Great card. Now, mid to late game, if you're just sitting back and you know, normally when I play EDH with my friends, there's 2 of us or 3 of us, so you know, you've got 2 turns to wait. So I often camp, so to speak, and wait. With blue, it's the perfect colour to do that. And I always leave 4 mana. Return this Omnipotent to its owner's hand. So instead of taking it to the command zone, it comes off the battlefield, goes to my hand, and I can play it for that mana. Although you still would then play it from the commander for 2 more. But if it happens again, I'll just bounce it back. I'll play it back for 6 mana. So I'm kind of cheating the fate of it dying and having to cast more. So it's really handy. It costs me 4. I haven't got to draw any cards, I just keep 4 mana back. So that's why it's my commander. Now onto the creatures. Try and keep a theme of just all the cards are allowing me to do a certain amount of things. I didn't just want massive blue and just sort of like mid-range blue that just does the same thing, in the sense that that would bounce, that would counter, that would just be big, or this could do whatever. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So basically I got Thing in the Ice for 2 mana. Now this actually is one of those cards where it's a defender of 0/4. It works well. It can't do anything for a little while with the ice counters on it, but where every time you cast instant or sorcery, I've got loads, that's why it's in here, you remove an ice counter and then you can transform the Thing in Ice. And as you can see, it's almost as big as a ship, so it's going to be like a kraken or a horror or something. So when it does, it turns into skadoosh. Turns into this fantastic card, Awakened Horror. Basically, when this creature transforms into this, return all non-horror creatures to its owner's hands. Now, those spells cost like 4 or 5 mana. This is just done it just because it's transformed. And I'm playing the instant sorcery spells, so I'm getting a second benefit from playing instant sorcery spells. It's a really good card. I did this once and didn't realise, because it was the other way around, that it did what it did. So I ended up bouncing most of the cards back to my hand. But lucky enough, they were all bounce cards, which allowed me to do those trigger abilities again. So I learnt something else from my own stupidity there. So that's that card. It's very cheap for a 2-drop. You're going to leave it and just it gets big really quick. And then like an assortment, Echo Mage. You can just bump it, get it bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can start copying spells later on. In an EDH game, you really do need cards that have multiple abilities. Someone's not going to spend a counter or destruction spell on this, so Echo Mage stays out for a little while. Trinket Mage allows me, for all intents and purposes, to get an artifact for 1 mana, put it into my hand. Obviously I have to reveal it, but you can shuffle your library, especially if you're drawing bad cards. As I said to you earlier in another video, I have got Grindstone. If you're playing a mono EDH, you've just won the game. So this card allows you to get multiple 1-drops out, which is good. I said, Man of Honor, 3-drop, 2/2, has a bounce ability. You just return a creature to its owner's hand. It's very good. I've got an artifact in here which I'll go through in the other part of the video, which allows me to return a creature card, or a permanent I think, to my hand at the end of my turn. And it's a choice thing, I don't have to do it. So that comes back to my hand, to play it again, play it hand, play it again. That is a horrible card. Gives me a bounce ability every time. I've got Temporal Adept, 3-drop. Pay 3 mana and return target permanent to its owner's hand. So you're always going to have the mana free because you paid it to get to that point. And you can just keep returning cards. I don't need lots and lots of spells to return, but this is just going to have it on the battlefield, which is handy. So all these cards are returning cards to their owner's hand. And this card, when I saw it, I can't be right. 3 mana for 1/1. But whenever Raven Guildmaster deals combat damage to a player, that player removes the top 10 cards of his or her library from the game. And this is one of those ones I probably should be playing in my mill deck. If you've seen that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. You just go through people's library. It's basically got like a Glimpse the Unthinkable built into its ability. Now, it's a 1/1, so turn 3 is going to be other things bigger than this. You have to time that right, or do what I did and get an enchantment in there that allows this creature to not be blocked by anything. So I can just hit it for 1, bam, 10 cards, thank you very much. Unfortunately for me, I play people that play black EDH because that seems to be a thing nowadays. Everyone just plays that colour. You just get all the cards back out your graveyard again, so I'm probably helping them by putting them in there, but still, they still got to draw those cards and draw those spells. So I still like this card. That's the sort of the bottom end of my EDH. So they all do the same things up until a certain level. The favourite Talrand, playing lots of instant sorceries, you want to be getting more than just whatever the creature does, which is what it took me a long time to learn. Now I'm just going to get free, for 4 mana, I want to get loads of free 2/2 blue drakes. Someone else is just going to play a big creature and want to swing in. I'm just going to use those as chunk blocks and continuously get creatures. Most of the time I'm going to bounce it to their hand with one of these spells and then have that creature in hand to just produce a 2/2. They're going to have to play that mana again, and I don't have to. I've now got a free creature. A fantastic card. I've got Empress Galana for 5 mana. You pay 2 mana, and you can gain control of target legend or legendary permanent. So I can take control of their commander, or any other fantastic EDH card they put in there. It's brilliant. For me, it's a great, great card. It doesn't end at the end of the turn, believe it or not. It's very broken for EDH. But as I said, for casual players that don't care, we just all like playing the cool cards. It's a really, really nice one. I've done it once on a few commanders or a few other legendaries, I believe. And yeah, it's a good card. Then I've got Storm Surge Kraken. Brilliant artwork. Again for 5 mana commander set, so this is perfectly built. Can't be targeted because it's got hexproof. It's a 5/5, which you would expect for a 5 mana. It's got Lieutenant. As long as you control your commander, so as long as these two are out, this will get +2/+2, and whenever he becomes blocked, so when you block something, it's a 7/7, you're going to use it a lot, you draw 2 cards. So those two work a lot well with the blue draw theme, which is good. And then it comes on to the big guys. It's basically Draining Whelk, 6 mana. That's flash. You play it on their turn when they play something big. You can counter that spell, and whatever spell you countered, you get that in 1/1 mana. So say for instance I countered the previously Storm Surge on there, and they've just tried to play this. It costs 5 mana, which means this comes out of 5/5, which means you've just got a 6/6 flying. It's a really good card, and I've played it several times and people think it's my turn, I'm safe, but again you've got to keep 6 mana open, but you're blue, so you're probably going to play something on their turn. So I've got Royal Elemental, again 6 mana, flying 3/2, not great, but whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may gain control of target creature for as long as you control Royal Elemental, which is a great effect. So I've got Sphinx of Magosi, I think it's called, 6 mana, 6/6 fly, brilliant. You pay 3 mana, draw a card, then put a 1/1 counter on Sphinx of Magosi. So it's a brilliant, brilliant card. And from now on, it's all Sphinxes and Sphincters, I nearly said then, but Sphinxes and God knows what else, Krakens and big creatures, which is why I love playing EDH. You can't really play these types of cards in other style decks. Arbiter of the Ideal, 6 mana again for a 4/5. So all my 6 drops are doing the same sort of powerhouse move, they're just getting through their defence. I've waited long enough now, counted lots of their spells, which you'll see in the other video, and all these creature cards are allowing me to get to this 6 drop limit, and I'm going to win the game. It's a 4/5 flyer, and it got inspired. Whenever Arbiter of the Ideal becomes untapped, so you've attacked it previously, you can untap it, then rule the top card of your library. If it's an artifact, creature or land card, you may put it onto the battlefield with a manifestation count on it. That permanent is an enchantment in addition to other types. So basically you're just going to get stuff out without even casting it. Great card. Let me go on to the ridiculously big creatures. Another Sphinx of Ulthuan, 7 mana. It's a 5/6 flyer, which is good. When he enters the battlefield, rule the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those into 2 piles and put 1 pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So it can be costly. Obviously they're probably going to give you the 2 cards, not the 3, but EDH, you've always got brilliant cards and you've got so much mana you can just play anything. So that's a good card, good artwork as well. And then I've got Scourge of Fleets, which is another 7 mana for a 6/6. And when it enters the battlefield, return each creature opponent controls where X is the toughness or less, control with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. It's very powerful. Unless you've got a super duper powerful creature on their card, which they can just take that. But you're going to wipe the board with that, and you're left with a 6/6. Sphinx of the Final Word. This is another 7 mana. It's a mythic. It's a 5/5, and it can't be countered. So it's good if you're playing another blue EDH. It's flying and hexproof, so it stays out for a long time. And instant sorcery spells you control can't be countered by spells or abilities. So this basically game changer completely. Brilliant artwork. I really want to get a tattoo of that sort of like hedron thing of a Sphinx. I really like this card. I've won the game multiple times with this one card alone. The last is Stormtide Leviathan. If you never lost a game against this and just sat and tried and work out how to win, don't. As soon as this card plays, just scoop. Unless you've got a murder card and you're black. So 8 mana for an 8/8. It has Island Walk. This creature is unblockable as long as defended player controls an island. So, okay, hold on a minute, I'm not playing a blue deck, but all lands are islands in addition to other types. So basically, whatever colour deck you're playing, now it assumes that you just do what you like. It's unblockable. You're smashing them for 8 every time. And just in case it wasn't enough, creatures without flying or Island Walk can't attack. Island Walk is really rare. So basically, unless a creature has flying, then, for my deck, for example, at the end there was a few flyers. I mean, all these big creatures weren't even flyers. There's a few there. Most of my cards weren't flyers. So if I was playing a similar type style deck and this card just come out, I can't block it. 8 damage, 8 damage, 8 damage. And they can't attack me because they haven't got fly. It's just a great card. So that's my creature base. I've rotated creatures out, in and out so many times with this deck. I like to evolve my EDH a lot just to keep it fresh. People were trying to build decks around countering this and countering that, or just bigger and better than that. So this is just part 1. As I said, I'll do part 2 of all my spells. Might take a little bit longer, or maybe a part 3. And I'll do a video just in case people don't know what EDH Commander is and how to choose what it is. So that's part 1. Leave your comments and come back for part 2. Thank you.